that you could join me. This is the Gisela Show. It's Monday evening at 8 o'clock. Always the Gisela Show. Tonight I have two fabulous things for you. One is for all you girls who do not want to age. I have the perfect solution. And then we have a special guest star who is going to tell us how she built her business with goat milk soap. Very exciting, very beautiful. So let's jump right into it and let me tell you. I was last week, I had some important meetings and I wanted to look especially great, you know. Besides, as you guys know me, those of you who have been listening to me for quite some time, I don't just do homeopathy, I also do beauty because I really do feel that uh, men and women need to look good. We get a better response if you look good. You know, people who look good and healthy and beautiful, they get a better response. It's sort of like they make their luck. You know, unfortunately, we are a very visual society, or fortunately, whichever you want to take it. I don't have any problem with wanting to look good. Too much of a girl to not to primp and fuss and do things for me. So here is what I found. I mean, some of you probably have heard about using turmeric in a mask with maybe some milk or maybe with some coconut butters on. Well, I made that a little more effective. And here's all of the things are in your pantry or should be in your pantry. Let's say that. Okay, first, you want to have turmeric. Okay, buy a big bottle like this. Not expensive if you buy it in a store. Don't go to ShopRite or some there. It's expensive. Buy one of the wholesale. Okay, buy a big bottle because you're going to need it. Then what you do is you either buy a bottle of lemon juice like this. I always have that because in the morning I have a little bit of warm water with lemon juice. Very healthy, very good for you, but you need something like that. But if you don't want to buy that, just get a regular lemon, okay? So that. Then you will want to have a cucumber, okay? And then you will want to have one egg. Now, if you want to, those of you who are the other side of 50, that I mean the advanced side of 50, those of you, you have also a teaspoon of honey. Then you have some coconut oil. Now you can use coconut oil or right now also what is very good is avocado oil. But avocado oil is a little more expensive. Coconut oil is a little bit more economic. And you cook with it and so on. Coconut oil is that. So what you do is you don't warm any of these things. What you do is you put a tablespoon of, and I hope you have a pen there because you need to write this down. A tablespoon of turmeric in a bowl. A couple of drops of lemon. Couple of drops, not too much. Take your cucumber, cut off half of it or cut it in half and squeeze the daylight out of it. You can also put it into a food processor if you like. What you do then is you break your egg, the entire egg, into it. Stir it really well. Put the honey in it too. Now, if you want it a little thicker, what you do is you put it on the double boiler and warm it up. Keep mixing it, keep mixing it. After a few minutes, it will thicken. Now, the same mask, you can make this part and you can divide it in half. One half you use as a scrub, and the other half you use as a mask and cream type of thing. So what you do is you put some coffee grounds from the coffee that you made in the morning. You take those grounds and you put that into it. The whole thing looks like this afterwards. I put the whole thing into a jar. It keeps about 10 days in the refrigerator. And then what you do is you take a teaspoon and you keep massaging it into your skin. Keep massaging it until it gets, if you have honey in it, it gets a little sticky afterward. Then you leave it on for 10, 15 minutes and you wash it off. First with hot water, real warm hot water, and then you rinse your face with cold water. You do that once a week. And I don't care what condition your skin is. I don't care. It could be dull. It could be oversensitive. It could be, if it's oversensitive, I wouldn't put the coffee grounds in, by the way. I would not use this as a scrub. But any other skin, just use it once a week. 15 minutes, the whole procedure takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most. And since you have your mask and you make enough so that you can do it for 2-3 weeks, you have enough for 3, 4, 5 times. Now, anything that is left over, and you smell it also. You see if it smells like green and it smells wholesome and fresh, you can use it. If it starts smelling a little sour, toss it, make new. It doesn't cost much. Then you use your coconut oil. You use a little bit on the side. And because I do it in the evening, I slather my face afterwards with the coconut oil. One more time. I get up in the morning and I don't have to do a thing to my face. Nothing. No cream, no nothing. All I do is splash a little water on my face and I'm good to go. I put a little lip gloss on or sometimes a little lipstick, little mascara, and I'm done. No makeup, no nothing. And your skin will look as beautiful and smooth, without wrinkles, without blemishes, healthy, just like mine. No makeup, nothing else but wholesome care. Now, how is that for a beautiful tip? I hope you like this, and I hope you do this for yourself because it is the best mask that you can. If you happen to have some blemishes or so on, please put a little more of the lemon in, a little bit more, few more drops, and it will just be beautiful. The trick is the cucumber, the lemon, and the egg and the turmeric is so anti-inflammatory that any kind of breakouts that you may have, any kind of whiteheads or blackheads will be gone. Okay? Do we have any questions, Amnon? Amnon, our producer, we haven't said hello yet. Amnon, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am fine.
And I want there are no questions yet, but I want to let everybody know that if you want to call in 919-518-9773 or Computers 2K Voice on Skype. Of course, it will be nice if you log into the chat.
Yeah, and tell us how you like the recipe. I will give you tons more if you like that. Now, coming right to our special guest that I promised. And I must tell you before I introduce Elizabeth Sanders, she was gracious enough to send me a soap, a couple of soaps really, of her goat milk soap. I was totally impressed. You guys know I don't have very often guests because I'm very particular of who I have on the show. It has to be somebody that I'm excited also about. And I can tell you, I am really excited about this product. I want you to listen what she has to say and let's welcome her. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Hi, thank you, Gisela.
You're very welcome. So, Elizabeth, tell our listeners what brought you to make goat milk soap.
I originally started when I was living at home. My older sister had some goats, and I would help her milk them, and we had some excess milk. So I had heard of goat's milk. I had never even made soap before, but I read about it for a couple of months and decided to give the goat's milk a try. And the reason that I did that, we were buying soaps that were made from other soap makers. They were made with water. They were very nice soaps. But when I started making my own soap with the goat milk, I noticed that in the wintertime, when I would go out to feed my animals, that my hands would crack and bleed. And after making the goat milk soap, it never cracked or bled again. And I never had dry skin again. It was a big difference between having soaps that were made with water that I had purchased compared to using a soap that we made at horseapiece.com and having no water in the recipe at all, not even a drop. So it was a very, very big difference.
Oh, that is really, I must tell you, and I'm going to give you, as you can see, I'm a little bit of a mad chemist. And I have tried to make goat milk soap because I wanted to have, and every time that I made it like about five uh, bars, and they
Yes.
were very nice, but they sort of like disintegrated right away. They just sort of I put it into water and they just sort of floated away. So that's why I was so impressed with yours that were creamy and nice and have a not an overpowering fragrance, have a nice fresh fragrance to it. Now tell me, do you make it with sulfites that give that creaminess to it?
We use all natural ingredients. When I say all natural, it means we're using ingredients in their wholesome, most purest form that we can. So that means our essential oils. You mentioned fragrance. If we have a soap that we produce that has a fragrance in it, it is produced with plant-based, 100% pure essential oils. And then the oils that we use, we have full disclosure of the ingredients on each label that we sell on horseapiece.com. And so because of that, we have our base oils that are all plant-based. We don't use any animal fats. We don't do any testing on animals either. So um, one great ingredient that we use is coconut oil. We have the coconut oil. We also use some very good olive oil in the recipe, some palm oil that is sustainably grown, which is very important. And so it depends on the types of oils that you use to produce a good bar of soap. So as in your experience, where the bar dissipated in a short amount of time, it depends on the recipe, I have to say. If you start with a good recipe, it's hard to tell sometimes what's a good recipe, but it does take a little bit of trial and error, and you will find the right mix. So the soaps that we produce generally will last 4 to 6 weeks, or I have some soaps that I'll set out at a kitchen sink, someplace where it's not like in the shower area, it'll last about 4 weeks. Out at the sink, it's going to last 3 or 4 months. So it does last for quite a while.
Yeah, I noticed that they don't really dissolve, and I can see behind you there. This is the curing area where you cure the soaps, or
Yes. So behind me, this is our curing room, and we've been expanding. So what you see behind me is only a small fraction of what's actually here in our area that we have all the soaps curing. We have thousands of bars around us. So we love helping people to know that they don't have to have dry skin. They don't have to have skin issues that a lot of people have. Dandruff is another skin issue that I struggled with personally. And when I started making the soaps, um, with the goat's milk and absolutely no water in the recipe, having all the ingredients chosen specifically for the type of soap that I wanted to know what it was going to do for the skin. Every single one of those soaps had a purpose, and it cleared up every single skin issue that I had. And some of the skin issues I struggled with for many, many years, even decades. But it cleared it all up. So definitely it makes a big difference.
Can you mention some of the skin issues? Because I'm sure that some of our listeners are suffering from some. What about psoriasis? Have you had any experience with that?
We have customers that have, I haven't personally had psoriasis, but I have had issues with dandruff since I was just a small child, the topical dry skin. We have many customers that have eczema issues as well. And so because of those things, we also had people asking about using our soaps at horseapiece.com on their pets as well, because
Yes.
we had people that loved that the soaps were doing such a wonderful thing for their skin. They wondered about their pets. So because of the inquiries that we were given and telling people that these had all natural ingredients, we don't do any testing on animals, but we told people that the ingredients were safe. So we had customers that were using the soaps on their pets. So because of that experience, we started to formulate some soaps specially for pet care just a couple months ago in our Healthy Pets section. So it was something that we found that animals also had the same skin issues that humans experience with the eczema and the psoriasis and
Yeah.
the dandruff and, just topical dermatitis issues. And so because of that, we were able to not only help a lot of people achieve some really good skincare results, but also now they're experiencing it with their pets as well.
Yeah, I have since most of my listeners know me as a homeopath. I treat a lot of pets with skin issues, and I have a little poodle, tiny toy poodle, that has suffered for years with skin issues, and I have to be very careful what soaps I will use on him to wash him, and that's good to know that I can only the bar soap on a pet. I haven't tried that to use a bar soap. Has there been any issues with the bar?
No, we actually have customers that enjoy it because while the liquid soaps are easier to apply, people are finding out that the high concentration of water in a soap is what's leading to the dryness of skin. And so
Yeah.
by using the raw goat milk, they'd much rather have their skin cleared up of the issues than to have, between a bar. The thing is a lot of bar soaps are detergent soaps, really. They're not made with the ingredients
Yes.
that maintain the natural glycerin when you make a soap. And so because of that, the glycerin is removed, and that's what keeps your skin moisturized and just very, it has a lot of natural ability to heal itself. And so because of that, with the pet soaps, our customers are finding out also through the soaps used on themselves that that natural glycerin that is retained in those bars, and then also using soap. I mean, goat's milk has vitamins A, B2, it has vitamin C, vitamin D. It has a lot of minerals like copper, zinc, magnesium, calcium, of course. So because of those things, water doesn't contain any of those things. And so when customers try it, the soap washes cleanly. If you try any other bar of soap and just use it to wash your hair with or try it on your pets, you're going to find that it leaves a residue, and you often can't,
Yes.
you'll feel that on your skin and you won't be able to rinse it off very cleanly. But that was one of the things that I noticed immediately with making the soaps. Is not only did it take care of the skin issues that I was struggling with at the time, but it never left a ring around the bathtub or at the sink. And when I started using the soaps on my hair, out of desperation, I couldn't find any products, natural or unnatural, that would work for my scalp. So because of that, I found that it would rinse cleanly out of my hair as well. So because of that, there's a lot of good issues about using the bar soaps versus the liquid soaps when you have all those natural nutrients. And the milk that we use it in its raw state. So we're not pasteurizing it first. I tried that for a couple of batches, but once I started to develop horseapiece.com as a company that was moving forward, I noticed that using the milk raw retained all those natural minerals and the vitamins that I mentioned, and it made such a big difference on the skin. So because of that, there's not too many soap makers that will make soap without water, or also using just the raw milk. It's very, very, very hard to find. So it makes
Very
a
hard.
big, big difference. Yes.
Yeah. So you have still goats, your own goats that you milk, or you uh, buy the from a goat herder?
We actually had a couple of goats that we were able to keep up with for a while, but then our business grew to the point where the poor little things couldn't keep up. And we actually were living in town at the time, so we bought some property a year ago, 22 acres, and we're in a transition phase right now. While we're building certain pieces of the property out there, we're buying milk from farmers. We found that there were some farmers in our area that were having to dump their milk because where we're at in North Carolina, you cannot purchase milk for human consumption under legal standards. So we could purchase it to use it in the soaps that we produce at horsepeace.com. So we helped to bridge that gap between the farmers not having an avenue to be able to have buyers come and purchase their milk, and they helped us to fill the need of our growing business as people were discovering the great aspects that our horsepiece.com soaps gave in that goat milk. So because of that, we are buying, yes, much of the milk right now is being purchased from farmers in the area, and it's just been a really good relationship that we've been able to build with them because their goats they're so well kept. Like, people really love their goats, you know. So it's a great thing because we still get to interact with the goats, but while we're building, we can focus on helping the business grow where it needs to. So it's a very good partnership.
Yeah, I love goats. I really do. I used to have two of my own.
Yes,
I
I
think
do.
they are the funniest and the cutest and the most loving pet, farm animals, really.
Yes, they have their
That
personalities.
yeah, yeah, very, very nice. Yeah. So that's really, I mean, I'm sure that you get to drink some of that milk too because it's very, very healthy for you.
It is. Goat
Goat's
milk
milk.
is wonderful. It has a lot of benefits for the inside and out. Like I said, we can't purchase it at the moment for human consumption, but when we had our own goats, yes, it's very, very good. Very good for a lot of issues.
Yeah, anybody who has arthritis, I could just really see that you purchase goat's milk and drink goat's milk. And if you have fresh goat milk, there's no odor to it.
That's right.
There's no odor to the goat milk, and which is lends itself to your product because you don't have that. It just when the enzymes fall apart after it has been sitting around for a while, then there it develops this goaty smell. And if you have fresh goat milk, it does not have that. Now, what else would you like to tell me about goat milk? What other properties does it have? What about somebody who has acne?
So for people
Uh,
who have acne and for people who have skin issues like eczema, people find that goat milk has less allergic reactions. You know, that's why a lot of people will want to drink it internally, but it's also the same for your skin, especially for people who have acne and eczema. It's one of those things where the goat milk will help your skin to regenerate because of the raw state. Again, if it was pasteurized, you would lose those different beneficial things that make up the composition of goat milk. But those are all retained in the raw milk, and so people find that have issues like we mentioned with the dandruff, the eczema, the psoriasis, and acne. It really helps to balance out the skin type that you have, so you can get back to the natural skin that you should have, that you should be able to experience. You shouldn't have to use a lot of different things on your skin. Your skin should be very simple to take care of. Your skin knows what to
yes.
do. It regenerates on its own. You just got to give it the right tools.
Absolutely. And that is so true. So many people don't understand that our bodies are designed to function without all this other stuff that we apply to it and use internally and so on. If you just give it the right help. And we also have this pH level on our skin that helps us to stay internally healthy. So if we destroy that with harsh soaps, or, I mean, uh, some of these soaps are marketed in, oh, they are the most gentle and the most creamiest and so on, but they really are detrimental for the skin. That's why I welcome somebody like you who takes the time and researches that and says, well, what is good for our skin? And this seems to be the answer. Now, if they would want to have you, I will see that I will put it on my website and see that people can reach you through that, and we'll talk about that. But how can they right now, if you wanted to get in touch with Elizabeth, you can ask your questions right now. How is that? You have her in front of you, ask your questions. And if we don't have anybody, do we have anybody in the chat room,
Not
Amnon?
yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, God, everybody is sort of shy today again. Girls, boys, this is good for men and women, right?
It is. We have many customers that are men. We have many customers that are women. Goat milk soap is wonderful. Even from we have 4 children ourselves. They're 5, 4, 3, and 20 months, and they're all boys. So we use a lot of soap on boys because they like to play outside and get dirty. But it is something that using even on our newborns, as they were just very brand new. It's very gentle. Or people who have very mature skin, they find that it's very, very gentle on skin. Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
Older people are starting to have thinner skin. The skin gets very thin. There's not the, because we lose the natural fat under our skin when we age. And so the skin gets thin, and that's why we wrinkle. We wrinkle, the skin wrinkles, the thinner it gets. But if we don't use uh, products that dry it out even more, and we use products like this goat milk soap, then we will replenish that,
That's
and
right.
we will stop this thinning of the skin. Well, Elizabeth, it was such a pleasure having you. It
Wait a second.
Anything else that we
Wait a
missed?
second. Hold it.
Yes.
I want to find out something. So I heard that Elizabeth has what, 5 kids?
I have 4. Yes.
4. How do you have 4 kids and look like that?
Well,
Good
natural products, right?
question.
You know, when you use good things on your skin, I like to tell people good soap makes good skin. And so it's something that I had to learn before I had my kids, but it was very helpful.
And you
Yeah.
homeschool them all?
That's right. We do home educate our children, and it gives me the opportunity to have them around me. They get to see as my husband and I work together with producing the soaps and being able to ship the soaps out. The boys are around us, and they get to learn. They get to go with me when we pick up the milk, so they get to talk with the farmers. They get to touch the goats and smell them and play. So yes, our family, we are working together, and as the business is growing, we have a goal to be able to see my husband come home from his 9 to 5 regular job that he has. And so the things that he does is really helping the business because while I like to create the soaps and I like to be able to make them, and his side of the business is very helpful. He gets to help handle any other aspect of the business with his skills are with computers, so he gets to do um, a lot of different things with the business. I'm sorry, but he gets to fill in a lot of the areas that I'm just not tailored to do. Let's just say that.
And
Yeah.
if somebody wants to buy the soap right now, where do they go?
We like to tell people definitely come talk to us at our website, horseopeace.com. That's the word horse, the letter O, and then peace as in peace and love. So it's PEACE. So horseopeace.com. And you can also take a look at our soaps, which are available on Amazon.
Okay, so either talk to you or it's available on Amazon. Good.
Yes.
Any other retailers that you are in yet?
We
Are you
have
in any?
we have some small stores across the country that they're carried in. There's several websites also that carry our soaps. So if you type in Horse of Peace, it's going to bring up a lot of different stuff.
So
Oh, good, good.
all these behind you are soaps?
They are every single one. We don't use any dyes or any colorants in the soap. So everything you see behind me is and it's just light beige to a darker brown color, depending on the different things that we add in the soap, such as our oatmeal and honey is our best-selling soap. So that gives just some little white flecks that you'll see through the soap, and just a nice kind of a golden brown color. And then something where we have our essential oils in, like our lavender, for instance, that has a lighter shade to it, so it's a little bit of a whiter, creamier color, but we don't have any colorant, so it's all just the natural colors that the soap, naturally has as it's produced.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice.
Thank you.
Do you use, let me just ask you one thing. Do you use potash still in your soap? In the old days, they used to make it with potash.
It's right. Yes, people do. And that's not something that we currently do. It's just one step of the
Okay.
process that we've taken out. So we do use the sodium hydroxide in the soap to be able to turn it from the oils and the raw goat milk into the soap, but
Into a
there's nothing
solid, yeah.
changing in the end products. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just it's
yeah.
just a thing, the catalyst that mixes it all together.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in the old days, they used to, the woman, the farmer woman, they would cook the soap themselves. They would make soap,
Right. Yes.
because there wasn't a shop that you could buy soap in.
That's right. You would take wood ashes from hardwoods that had burned down, put that into a bucket, strain through some rainwater, take whatever strained through, and you'd hold it for a couple of days. If then to tell whether it was ready for your soap, you just either float an egg or a potato in it. If it floated on top, it wasn't ready. If it sank to the bottom, it was too heavy, and you would need more rainwater. So if it was right in the middle of the container, you're good to make soap.
That's good. That's good. So for all of you guys who are chemists out there and who want to make experiment with it, contact Elizabeth, and she might be able to help you of how to make not exactly goat milk, because that is a little bit more difficult, as I found out. But maybe some other soap. I'm sure that there are a few websites that will also teach you of how to do this. Well, so nobody, any questions?
Nothing
Yes?
nothing
No?
else. Nope.
No. Well, maybe they will come later. Sometimes they email me. But it was such a pleasure having you. I would love to have you again.
Thank you.
And
I would love to
maybe
be.
we can talk then of one more question before I let you go.
Mhm.
Any follow-up? Now, I know you have a soap for dogs, you have soaps for humans. What else do you?
So we also
Those are
have we have a shea butter cream that we use for just about anything in our house. Anything from bug bites to bee stings, scrapes on the boys. I use it on my face whenever I first, get out of the bath or the shower, just to lock in that moisture. And then on top of that, we're also in the near future going to be starting to produce some shampoo soaps. We've had some requests for people who want to use the soap on their hair. So we're specially formulating some new soaps coming down, into the product line.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So when you start having something, like that, we'll have you on again. We'll talk about it. Thank you very much for your time. All our listeners, there you go. goat milk you can buy at Horse or Peace. If you just put it into Google, the website will come up. And if you contact me, as always, I will respond, and I will uh, lead you not down the primrose path, but to the truth. Again, thank you so much for watching the Gisela Show, as every Monday at 8 o'clock. And I hope to see you next Monday. Bye bye.
You're tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.